Yeah, hello. It's been a while since I made a video. I apologize for that. I don't really know what the purpose of the video is going to be today, but I guess we'll just start off with an update since it's been such a bit of time. I'm trying to remember what I made my last video about. I think it was just some witchy stuff. Let's see, we'll start with that, I guess. I don't know, I feel a little bit out of tune with my spiritual practice of things. I already lost track of how much time it's been since my group disbanded, but I've had a hard time bouncing back from that. I just don't feel like I have much structure left anymore since I don't have, set days that I go do rituals with a group of people like I normally used to. This is the first time you watched me. I used to be a priestess in, it wasn't really a coven, it was more just a public group that people would come and bring their friends, or we had regular people that would come like every time. But I was like the right hand man of our I don't know what to call her, our head minister, and she was training me to take over the group for her. But the problem is we were a legal group, so there was a requirement for 3 people to be on council, and we could never seem to get the third person because they had to go through the year and a day training. That's all that was required to hold office, and we couldn't seem to get anybody to commit to that much time studying their craft and taking a position, taking the responsibility. So she was wanting to step down because she's in her 70s, like she's ready to not be responsible for everything, and I was ready to take over for her, but then I had no one to replace me as treasurer, and we still had no secretary, so fundamentally it would not have worked. We couldn't keep our legal status, and she was just done. So we were supposed to end it on Yule, the year that we end up disbanding. Sorry for all the umming. I didn't really think this out too well. It's just kind of a random there it goes again. She actually ended the group on Mabon instead, so I wasn't really prepared to have everything just end that fast. I thought I still had a few months to kind of come to terms with it and make some kind of a plan for myself, and like, it's been over a year, maybe 2 years. I don't even know how long it's been. I think it's close to 2 years now, 2 or 3 years. I don't know. I've lost track of time, but I've had a hard time kind of coming to terms with it, and then trying to figure out what I want to do. Like, do I want to start another group by myself? Like, just make it non-legal? The problem with that is checking on the kid. We just don't have the legal status. We don't have a permanent location. Like, before, we paid to use a, I don't know what to call it. It was kind of like a nature preserve where people lived on this, like, I don't know how many acres property, and they built it up so schools could bring children out there to learn, like, survival things, learn about nature. It's kind of like a nature center, I guess. I don't know. But they had a cabin out there that was perfect size for our rituals, because we had like a big room for where we could set up the altar and do our thing, and it had a fireplace and all that. And then after the ritual, we'd bring out tables and chairs, and we'd all be able to sit there and do a potluck afterwards and kind of just have some community time just to chat. And I always imagined it always being there, and, being able to expose my children to the craft and all that. And, obviously that's not how it's going to be because the group's no longer around. And my oldest is 4 right now, so this is around the age when I imagine that I would be teaching him, like, the basics, like the very basic craft stuff, or like whatever you can get a 4-year-old to understand. But I've also got a little extra curveball because he's autistic and he doesn't understand things the way I explain them. Plus, he's got the mind of a child anyways, so it's like we can't really get into philosophical, deep thought things. But I think I'm starting, like, to teach him the important parts of our craft, like the very basic, like, being kind to nature. He already loves flowers. He loves being outside. you know, Dad's big into fishing, so he's already been on his first fishing excursion with Dad, and he loved it. I was surprised he stayed up because it was all night. He didn't fall asleep till on the way home. My middle kid is 2, so he's still a 2-year-old. He doesn't have that attention span at all. And then my youngest one is only a month and a half old, so that's kind of where I've been the last, I don't know how long it's been since I made a video, but I've been dealing with pregnancy and birth for the 3rd time, and kind of taking a step back and trying to take a bigger reflection on, you know, where I want to go with my life and my kids and all that stuff. I'm still on maternity leave right now, so it's giving me more time away from work to sit here and think about, you know, the direction my life's going in, how I'm raising my children. It's kind of give me that time to recoup from my burnout, because working in a hospital around sick people all the time and the elderly and people in general are draining, because they're very different now than I think they used to be. We got this sense of entitlement, and people just don't treat each other kindly. Even though you're there to help them, they don't see that as helpful. I don't know. Like, I'm not saying everybody's like that. Like, I do have quite a few good patients, but I have a lot of people that treat you like crap, and it's really hard to walk into a place that treats you like crap. You know, I don't mind so much the patients, because I feel like, you know, eventually they leave, but there's also coworkers that have ego problems that, you know, they gotta try to throw their weight around, or they're just not helpful, or they're, you know, they all got their own little weird stuff that I just don't care to deal with, and they just want to push it on you, and then, you know, you kind of have to deal with it because you can't leave. And then there's management. You know, being a business, it's hard to deal with management, because I don't feel like they're... Can you shut the door all the way, please? Thank you. Sorry. I just don't feel like they're as invested in what we do as they used to, because it's all about money and, you know, how to make things cheaper. And unfortunately, it's a lot of cuts to the staff, and we don't get many benefits. We don't get, you know, staffing that we need. It's just stressful all around, no matter how I look at it. So it's been kind of nice. I've been off for, hi baby, almost 2 months now. I've been off of work. You know, I kind of feel like I'm losing sense of time, since I'm not having to be somewhere all the time and not having to, you know, really do much other than what I want to do. Trying to spend a lot of time with the kids, just kind of, you know, being here for them, learning their personalities, trying to figure out the best way to parent each of them, because they're all different. Like, the baby, of course, is a baby, so he doesn't really have much personality yet. That one who's running, he's my spirited one. He's the one I really have the hardest time, I don't want to say bonding with, it's more like connecting with, because he's so different than the other ones. Like, the baby's very calm, he's very mellow, very calm, happy boy. Like, he's very low maintenance. He eats, sleep, poop, you know, newborn stuff. So it's kind of easy, thank God. Not too many issues with him. Breastfeed like a champ. My oldest one with the autism, he's harder in his own right, because he's got his own needs, you know, communication issues. We're trying to get him in therapy. He's getting some through school, but he's got more intense therapy that I'm working on setting up for him right now. I just talked to the people this week, so I'm waiting for another phone call. And then the middle one, I feel like, you know, I was a middle kid. I'm trying really hard not to give him that middle kid complex. Feeling like he's not getting enough attention, because it's hard when you got one with, you know, health issues and special needs, and then you got a baby who's a baby. You know, they kind of have, they can't do anything for themselves, so they do get a lot of attention. So I still try to give him his own time, and it helps sending the oldest one to school, because then it really is just me and the baby and my middle child. And the baby sleeps a lot, so it's more like a lot of one-on-one time. I try to, you know, take into account his feelings on things and try to not get so upset when he does things. So I try to look at the big picture, not, okay, this is what he did, I want to look at why he's doing it. Like, a lot of times he doesn't do anything unless I'm not there. Like, I'm either in the room with the baby sleeping, and I got the door so he can't open it and wake us up, because I'm up all night. Dad usually is out there dealing with him, and he'll come and destroy the bathroom or pull stuff out of the cabinets, and just little things. I think he does that just because he knows it'll make me wake up because I can hear it. And then it obviously keeps me out there longer trying to clean up the mess before I have to go back and deal with the baby again. So I don't know. It's just hard because he's to that age where he can't really comprehend any deep conversations or understand really the situation. He just knows I want mama and this is how I get her. So it's just a growing thing. I'm sure in a little while it'll get easier, especially the older they get. The comprehension expands. Let's see. I already covered work. I haven't been there. I'm working on trying to get set up to go back to work. We're actually going on vacation in less than 2 weeks, so I've been working on getting all that camping stuff together because it can be really fun with 3 kids, a dog, and the adults. And let me see, where was I at with that? Going camping. Hopefully I'll return to work after we get back from camping. And then I'm actually trying to write a ritual. Hey, what happened? Are you okay? What happened? Baby, are you okay? What happened? Oh my goodness. Always getting hurt. You alright? I have no idea. I don't know if he just got hurt on his own plane or if the other one hurt him, so I don't know. You okay? So anyway, sorry. He's gonna come over here wanting some loving, so my eyeball. I was trying to go back to work after I get back from camping, and before I go camping, I'm actually going to try to do a ritual at my home. Oh, that's the one thing I was going to say. It's, trying to hopefully start holding rituals at my own home until we find what we really want to do. Hi, Pika. That's my little middle child. You okay? What happened? You got sand all in your mouth. Are you eating the sand? Is that you? Anyways, we're going to try to hold a ritual here for Lammas or Lughnasadh, whichever one you want to call it by, because the baby hasn't had his blessing ceremony yet, and I want to get it done, because the only other option would be Mabon, and it's Michigan. I don't know what the weather's going to be like then, so I'd rather do it now while the weather's nice. I only invited like 9 people, so it's not anything major, but I don't really know if even half of them are even going to show up. Even if 1 or 2 people show up, I'll be happy. Which will probably just be my immediate family, like my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law probably. So I gotta write that and get it all done. I still haven't bought the baby a tree. I usually buy a tree. So hold on, baby's crying. Is there a pause button on this? No? Okay, well, hold on 2 seconds. Sorry. He was in there screaming. Pumpkin. You okay? Shh. Your bad dream? Yeah. Okay, so I'll try to wrap this up because I was probably going to want a booby. Are you hungry? Making me a leek curry. So, anyways, I'm going to try to do a ritual for him at my home with a few close people right before we go camping, especially the day before we leave. And I'm planning on just, simple little ritual, honor to the season, do his blessing. I haven't bought him a tree yet because he wasn't born until June, so it was a little past the planting season for trees, I think. It was a little too dry. But, one's got a cherry tree, one's got an apple tree, so we're going to try to get him a pear tree. And I also need to get a willow tree because my one cat got put down And I've been wanting a willow tree for the backyard, so that's where I buried him, where I want the tree. So when my other cat passes, she'll also be buried by the tree. Hey, it's okay. So, I don't know. I'm sorry, Pumpkin. So hopefully at least a couple people show up. That's really all I got going on immediately in my life right now. It's not really a whole lot. But I'm hoping to get my life together at some point. I gotta start working out again. I kind of took a hiatus on my coaching just because I was having some issues during my pregnancy that made working out not safe. So, I'm trying to figure out when I want to start. If I want to start it before I go on vacation or just wait till I get back. Then I'll also be starting it when I get back from, or when I start going back to work. So it's gonna be kind of hard to juggle a new workout routine plus going back to work and then coming home to 3 kids. So I don't really know what the plan is with all that. We're just gonna wing it. But that's pretty much my update right now. That's why I've been kind of MIA. It's just been busy but not busy. It's been nice not having to be somewhere every day. But still trying to keep the house running, keeping the kids all alive, that kind of stuff. So I'll try to post again after I get this guy calmed down. I got one more thing I think I would like to make a video about, but I'm not really sure how to direct that one either. Like I said, it's just going to be kind of random. So if you're listening this long, thank you. And I will talk to you later. Bye.